Hey, and welcome back to AHC Garage. I hope you're enjoying the series on the build on my Honda Accord, a 2005 Honda Accord. Now, on the last episode, we did the BBK from DC5 Creations. Boy, does it look amazing, and it really fills in that nice rim that we have. Now, on the back, we also did the disc conversion. We did from drums to disc, and man, it is looking stunning from the red Brembos in the front to the disc conversion in the back. I'm loving it. And you might also love the sound of that low tone Apexi exhaust that the guys got modified and put it up there, and it really fits in the back of that rear lip just perfectly. It's something I've never had on a car before, so really am enjoying it. Now on this episode, you're gonna see, well, I changed the color of the wheels. I love the design of the wheels. I don't love the color I had previously painted. So I'm going to show you here in just a little bit what we're going to do to get those wheels painted to a color I want. And also the guys in the shop, well, they got a lot of suspension work. They're going to be tightening up some things and changing some things. And they tell me that my ride is going to feel really, really good after this. So I'm really excited for that. For now, let's go ahead and take a look at how I changed the color of the wheels to a color I really enjoy. And now, if you were a fan of the Mag Blue, I have to apologize, but it just doesn't work with my actual car. So here's the process of what we did to change the color. Now, since we're going to be painting wheels, we can just clearly go and scuff it up. And there's no existing damage since we just painted it. You can see we even painted the inside of the barrels. This whole entire wheel is Mag Blue. Now, since we're going to be sealing it, and sealing it is like a primer, we're going to get a little aggressive with it. We're going to use a 320 grit. That way we can remove most of this clear coat, and we can provide a nice key scratch for our next coats to sit on top. So make sure that you get this thing completely clean. We're going to be using a couple different products, including Super Clean. Now, these wheels didn't really have any grease on them or anything like that, since it was just about a week between painting them and then repainting them again. And yes, I drove TJ crazy taking the wheels off and back on, and tires and all that good stuff, but it was well worth it in the end. So we're going to be using a product called Scuff Stuff, which is an abrasive, and it's like a compound abrasive that's soapy as well. So any areas that we did miss, we'll go ahead and get those all cleaned up. Now, we did actually tape off the stickers, and that's what you're seeing. They're not taped off wheel weight. So when you go ahead and paint the inside of the barrel, you're going to have to try to use a spray gun to get it in there, and it's kind of difficult at first. I always like to find a key point on the wheels, and for me it was the actual Graham Light logo that was on one of the spokes, and I use that as a starting point to get the inside of the spokes, and then I turned it around on the outside. We're using this little fancy wheel stand that really works well to turn the actual wheels. Now, when it comes to painting versus actual powder coating, guys, is the best possible way to actually refinish a wheel. It's a much stronger build, a much stronger bond. But when it comes to respraying and spraying wheels again, you can't do it like you can with paint. You can just scuff it up and paint it. Powder coating, I believe you're going to have to take it back down to the bare metal, which is going to be the correct way to do it for paint. It might not have as much of a strong bond as powder coat, but you have more versatility with colors and application. And guys, I didn't like the way it looked, so how easy was it to just go and find a silver, bright silver color that I liked? And that's exactly what we did here. So painting the inside of the barrels and painting the outside face is exactly what we did. We kind of held off on painting the outside of the actual wheel itself, just because we'll be using it to turn onto the stand and off of the stand, and we don't need wet paint on an area that's going to be covered anyway. Now, if you're looking to do this with spray cans, you can do it with spray cans, but you'll get a much better finish using more professional type products. Spray cans will work if you're just doing like maybe the face of the wheel with a tire on and you just want to change the look of it, but we're going for a little bit more of a professional feel here. And being my second time painting these wheels, I got a better rhythm at spraying. Now, this is the Mix and Max clear coat. There's about 5 different options you can choose. We chose M4. It's still got that satin finish, but it's not the full gloss you'll see in like M5 right here. M2, you can see it's completely dulled out, and M1 would be even more. But basically, you got a low gloss, and then you're going to have a semi-gloss, and then when you mix these two together, it'll be a percentage that you're going to mix these two together with. In this particular case, it was 20% low gloss and 80% that semi-gloss, and the low gloss is going to be like a more of a milky type of clear coat. Although it will go on shiny, these will dry more matte. So once you get them all mixed up, we're going to hair it with the semi-gloss. You can see there's a lot more that semi-gloss will add to the mix. But once we mix these two up together, we'll put the activators in it, and then we'll go ahead and spray it. Now when I'm spraying it, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get 2 coats on the face of the wheel where it really matters, and on the inside I'll put 1 nice wet coat. This will take about maybe 15 minutes in between coats, in which you'll see that we'll take the wheel and we'll flip it. Again, just finding a landmark on the wheel so we don't over apply the clear coat. It's a little tricky with this clear coat because it doesn't go on full shiny. It will go on shiny but not full shiny. So it'll be difficult to see some areas where you've actually painted before, especially with a lighter color like silver. You can quickly get yourself into a situation where you're starting to over apply or not even apply it to certain areas because you think it's covered. So keeping this rhythm when you're doing any sort of painting is very, very important. Here with the second coat 15 minutes later, we're flipping it over. We're going to do that first coat on the inside of the barrel. And the reason why we're putting clear coat here is very important because it's going to help to keep the wheels clean, because we'll end up ceramic coating the inside of these wheels once they've cured about, let's say, about maybe 30 days down the road. We'll ceramic coat these wheels on the inside, so any sort of brake dust will kind of just wipe right off or wash right off when we go to actually clean the car. And we'll apply it with the second coat of clear coat on the second and the first wheel. Now we're doing all 4 wheels here, but I just want to show you guys detailed how to spray these 2 wheels, and we'll do the second batch later on. We've got the same exact paint mixed up, so we don't have to worry about any sort of color difference. And here it looks after it's been sprayed. You can see it's got a gloss finish. This is totally normal. Now it will take about a good 30 minutes for this to flash off into its satin finish, but even at that, it's not completely cured when it's flashed off. It'll take a good 24 hours before you're going to want to mount these up. Now a lot of you folks are concerned with painting your wheels and then getting them mounted up, but if you have a master tech like TJ here, you won't have to worry about any tire or any machinery hitting your wheel. Now TJ's a little bit of cocky, but it's okay because he gets the job done, so we just kind of let it go. And I didn't really want to have to repaint these wheels again after just spraying them. So we'll let TJ do his thing and get all the tires and wheels back assembled, get some air in there and get them all balanced up, and then put them back onto the car. And guys, let me know what you think. Do you like or prefer this look better? I think it's a lot more stealthy, a lot more classy. It goes better with the black paint job rather than the mag blue. Don't get me wrong, the mag blue was cool. I don't think for this car though. Let me know what you guys think. All right, so you saw the process of getting those wheels all painted. Now, if I gave you any advice, find a color that you really like, do some research, because it is a lot of work to have to take the tires off, sand them back down, and respray them. But we saw that TJ just finished mounting them up, and here we are, guys. This is exactly what it looks like. And what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Do you like this more of an OEM classy feel? I like the vibe here of the classy matte finish with the silver and black. I think it looks really good. The mag blue looks beautiful. I don't think it worked on this particular vehicle. Well, at this point, we're ready to turn it over to TJ and Mike, and they're going to do some suspension work and get this all looking and feeling really good.
So we got some suspension parts that we're going to be doing on Brian's car, as he let everyone know already. So what we are doing is, on one of our previous videos, I don't know if you guys seen it, but we had some really bad bushings, some torn bushings, completely missing rubber and on the upper control arms, and lower control arm bushings destroyed. So we're going to go ahead and change out the lower control arms, upper control arms, and sway bar links. So for the lower control arms, we went with Hardrace, full replacement lower control arms. Very nice quality bushings, pretty much like OEM, so this should fit perfect. And we went with Skunk 2 upper control arms. They are adjustable camber, just like what he has now, except everything is nice and brand new. And then also we have some Hardrace sway bar links. Get rid of those old crusty ones that are in there. You know, they've been sitting underwater a few times, so we'll get rid of those rusty ones out. And then while the car's been sitting, you know, the thing's been sitting pretty while, so it ended up getting a couple of check engine lights just from, you know, sitting around and not being ran. He has an evap code, which will go ahead and replace this as a canister vent valve. And he has an O2 sensor code because, again, it's been underwater, so I'm sure this thing is full of rust. So we'll put a brand new O2 sensor in it, clear his codes, and then he'll be on his way.
Hey guys, check out my new Milwaukee stubby 3/8 drive M12 impact gun. Check this out. It's a new model. You can change mode just by tapping a trigger. And also got 3 LED lights up in the front, 550 foot-pound of reverse torque. And take a look at this here. Go get it. TJ, check out my new impact gun right here. So now on the bench, I also have my 2 other 3/8 impact gun. Now these are M18 batteries, so it does take a larger battery. And take a look at this one here. Now let's put them side to side here.
Stronger.
Look at this here.
I like how it's a lot lighter. It won't mess my wrist up like this one. All right, let's test out this new stubby.
Guys, when you know you got a disaster, you got every single tool out of the toolbox. All right, TJ, so what happened here?
I'll tell you what happened. What happened is this car's been underwater at least 3 to 4 times. And what happened is this bolt got stuck in here and we had to go and cut it off because it's seized up inside the bushing. And I'll tell you what now, that's due to rust. What rust? Being underwater.
I guess this side didn't get flooded, huh?
Oh, it did, but you know, I mean, let's look at all the rust there. We just got lucky. You guys want to see evidence this thing was underwater? Here's the proof. Thanks a lot, Brian. All right, now while we got the lower control arms out, I pulled out the old sway bar links and we'll put these new Hardrace links in. And we'll just put them in just hand tight and let them hang for a minute until we get the control arms back in.
Oh, right there. So we just slide in our lower control arms and go ahead at the same time preload our bushing, then get everything tightened up. There you go.
Nice and even. I like that it has the nut on the inside to hold it.
Yeah, instead of the Allen.
Yeah.
So the lower control arms all good to go, and next up we're gonna move on to the upper control arm. And go ahead and take out that cotter pin here. There you go. And take a closer look at the board joint here. Yeah, not very pretty here.
So I'm gonna change the modes because we're working with a 10 mil. So we don't need all the juice. So we'll go ahead and put it down to, let's try 1 and see how that works. Nice. Do we look like? Now we're gonna break out the impact ratchet from Milwaukee. This thing is pretty baller, I'll tell you that. Like butter. This thing's a beast. Yeah.
Right here, so. Right here, so.
Right, this one?
And we got the Skunk 2 upper control arms all finished up. And next up, we move on to our primary O2 sensor right over here.
Let's see. Oh, I don't think the water went that high.
And here's the replacement one.
Brand new Denso.
Route the harness back up. Connect that connector. All right, so next up we're gonna move on to our EVAP canister. And which piece are we changing again, TJ?
Right here, the canister vent valve. We popped out the old canister vent valve, and here's the new one. I'm just gonna slide it back in and pop it right back into place.
I think that's it, huh?
That's it.
So let's do it. All right, let's go ahead and put it on the ground. I think she looks pretty good. Yeah. Good camber.
Did you hear that spring pop into place there?
Oh yeah. All right, so we all set up to do our alignment. TJ just set up the brakes and also straighten out the steering wheel here. Once that is all finished up, we'll do some adjustment in the front and the rear toe, maybe the camber.
All right, so we just finished up with the alignment, and the toe was way out. So I'm sure this was way overcompensated for the busted lower control arms and the busted upper control arm. Once we put all the new stuff on, it was wild looking. But we went ahead and we set everything back in. The camber is nice and even. You know, we preset that before, and turns out it came out pretty good. So we did the toe, and let's go take it for a test drive and see how it goes.
All right, so the guys got everything completely all sorted out with the suspension. I gotta say, the initial thoughts is the initial feel of the front end is much tighter. We had a lot of rubbing in the front right, so they gone ahead and they tightened everything up there, and it feels really good, to be honest with you. I do notice while driving, an issue I've had before is there's a good amount of play still within the steering itself. So I'm gonna talk to Mike and see if there could possibly be a solution for that. But as far as everything else is concerned, what they've done is super, super tight. I do notice though, and maybe it's the shocks or the coilovers I have in here, but when I do go over some bumps, you're gonna feel a little bit more of that bumpiness after the initial bump. So like a sewer or a speed bump or anything in the road, I'm feeling a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the guys think about it once they get it back into the shop in the next episode, if they have a solution, or if I need to change some things out. I'll be interested to see what they say. Also coming up on the next video, you see this awesome screen right here. This is one that you'll find on Amazon. It is the Android system. Now, it's still getting it set up, and I'll show you more in the next episode, but basically, we brought this 2005 into the 2025 era with all of these new functions and technology from Apple, CarPlay, and everything else we're going to have on the screen, the backup camera. It's a super cool way to, well, you can feel the bumps. Yeah, Mike, there's something going on here. But a super cool way to really bring it into the new era. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the next episode. I know the guys probably have some few things up their sleeve that they're going to do to really get this down and figure everything out. I'll see you guys in the next episode.